This is the 7 of 100 days of design. The exercise for the 7 weeks account settings. Account settings is a section in an app where user can actually configure their profile. So to make things easier, I have gotten things that I'm going to use in this design. I have a layout already with this wireframe, and also I've gotten icons that I'm going to use, and I have the colors that I'm going to use in this design. Now, to start with, I'm going to copy this screen, Command C, and paste it somewhere here, and I'll rename it to account settings. So these are the colors we're going to have. We have one for uh, we have this white, which is going to be a background color. This black also will be background color, and also will be our text color, and its variance also is going to be for our text color. And we also have the primary colors here, which is going to be used for our buttons. Now, to start with, I'm going to change the color of this background to our black. I've selected this screen, and I'll press I on the keyboard, and I'll select the color, so to give it the color. And also I want to put this in a frame so that I'll be able to adjust this thing to the center of the screen. Now I'll start by changing each of these things one after the other. So first of all, this I'm going to change this to a picture. And to change it to a picture, I need to, okay, I have a picture that I'm using in my design. In previous design, I have a picture that I use like this. I'm going to copy this, Command C, and I'll drop it here. I'll paste it there. The size of this picture is 200 pixels, so I'm going to make this also a 200 pixel picture, and I'm going to Command X and Shift Command R to replace this. So this is an icon. This is an icon. I'm going to replace the icon with our with what we have here. But looking at this place, we have different concepts of icons. We have flat icons and we have round icon. If you have to use icon in your design, so you have to go to a particular concept if you are using a flat or a round icons. So in this case, I'm going with the round icons. So this, I'm going to neglect these two, the one with outline and the one with fill color. I'm going to neglect them. I'm going to use this one that have key colors. So I'm going to copy this, Command C, and paste it here. And what I would like to do again, I will need this color because this is the color I'm going to be using for my icon, the primary color. So I'm going to, I will copy it as to one side. So the size of this thing is 40 pixels. I need a 48 pixels of frame. So 48 by 48 pixels. And I want it to be of this color blue. And I want it to be round. So I'll change the corner radius to 100. Then place this one inside. And make sure it sits at the center. Then I'm going to delete this and replace it with this icon here. But as we do this, the icon's color needs to change also to our blue. I'm going to go to the color selection on the panel, on the property panel, and I'll pick the drop ink icon here, and I'll click on the blue icon. So looking at it, our icon also have the blue. That's why we are not seeing the icon, because the background is blue. So I'm going to select the one with the background and give it the opacity of 20%. So by doing so, that will be transparent, and also our icon with the blue color will be more visible. So I'm going to delete this. We don't need it anymore, and we'll need the name of this user under here. We'll need the name, his name here. But before that, let's go to the main work here. So here is going to be the title of the design, account settings. So, and this is going to be 40 pixels, and it's going to be a bold something. I'm going to cut this command X and replace this to shift command R to replace. So this, the rest of this thing must come down. I'm going to hold down control, select everything, then move them down a little bit where supposedly my something is going to start. So the top and left of this now I'm going to change it. The top is 32 pixels. I'm going to give it 40 pixels, and the right is 29 pixels. I'm going to give it 40 pixels also. So we have account settings. So whatever we want to have under these account settings will start. I mean, their left margin is going to be 40 pixels. Now here we're going to have labels. We have labels and information on them. So here I will say name. I'm going to delete this. We have name here. It's also going to be 40 pixels from the left. So the size of this text is going to be 16 pixels. 16 pixels, and it's going to be a medium text. A medium text, and I want to like to make it okay. Let's leave it first. Then we have this information, command C, command shift R. So the something that will be under the label, so the information, so this is going to be 20, let's say 18 pixels. 18 pixels is okay. So 18 pixels, and it's going to be semi bold so that the contrast between this and this will be more glaring. So the name, I'm going to give it, let's say Peterson, Peter, as the name of the person. So that is it. So this now, these two, uh I'm going to give them auto layout, shift A, and the space between them is going to be 4 pixels, not 9. So, and there's left margin is 29 pixels. I'm going to increase to 40 so that it tallies with what we have here. And also, since we are having 40 from the left side here, we should also have right margin to be 40 pixels from here. So whatever we are going to paste inside this thing must not exceed that 40. So what I will do is to copy this. For example, I'll copy one aside and I'll align it back to the right side, and from the x-axis here I'm going to minus 40 from this, minus 40, and this, whatever I want to place here must not exceed this edge of this thing. So I'm going to drag a line from the ruler here and place it by the side. So my design must not go beyond these two lines, these two red lines. So that one will guide me through placing things. So I'm going to delete this like this. So since I have name here, and one thing that I would like to do again is I will increase the line, this line, and the margin button, padding button is going to be 4 pixels. Why I give it 4 pixels is that I want to make this thing an input. I want to make it an input. So the margin button is 4 pixels, and the margin left is going to be 4 pixels also. Now, given that 4 pixels, I will now give the frame an outline. Sorry, I'm going to give it an outline, a stroke. So you have a stroke on it, but this stroke is not what we want. We just want the under stroke. We don't want all the line across it. So I'll click on this icon here and I'll choose button to have it like this. So that is that. So I'm going to copy this down here and I'll call this one phone number. Phone number, and I'm going to give it, let's say 234 8740698788 for the phone number. I'm going to copy these two and bring them here like this, and I'll call this one user name. username. Let's say the username is Peterson 123. So here also, let's say what we have here is email. So email, let's say the email is the full name of the user. Is going to be Peterson Peter at gmail.com. Now my attention goes to something just now, which is the space between these things. So we need to increase the space. The space is 4 pixels by default. I'll increase it to 8 so that we have more briefing space for the headings and the content. So the space between this is 22. I'm going to make it 32 pixels. This also is going to be 32 pixels like this. So we are here to work on the colors. We are still going to work on them. So on this command C, let me just copy this and delete these ones. Here, this is going to be address. So address of the user. So inside this address, we're going to put the user's address. But with this address, I have a plugin installed already that can generate address for me. So it's called Content Reel. So with Content Reel, you can get placeholder picture, placeholder text, and so on. So I'll use a US full address, and I'll click on any of the address to fill the address something here for me. Now, the next thing here we have are these, and these are nothing but about the user. Let's say about me, and this is going to be auto fixed size, fixed size, fixed size for the text, and the height is going to be, let's say, 100 pixels of height for the text. Now what I will do now is to generate about me, and about me that I want to generate, I'm going to use this thing also, the content, lorem ipsum, which is a plugin to generate placeholder text. I will say auto generate. So auto generate will fill the entire something. But what we are having here, because for this kind of long or large text, we need a very small font, or we can still leave it at 18, but the weight must be a kind of regular like this. So this, since I don't have any text under here, I'm going to change this text back to auto height. And the padding bottom also, I'm going to increase it since we have very much text here. So I'm going to increase it like that. Now what remains is social links. So I'm going to copy this text, Command C, Command Shift R, and I'll move it here, and I'll say social links. So on these social links, that's where we're going to have our social accounts. So we have Facebook, Twitter, and the LinkedIn. I'm going to copy them. Command C, I have copied them, and I'll paste them right here. So I have them here. So I'm going to use what we use here. This icon also, I'm going to call on it, Command C, and I'll paste one here. So I'm going to Command X each of these and put them here. Command X, Command Shift R, Command X, Command Shift R, and the color we are having inside them is our blue. So I'm going to copy our blue color down here so that it will be more accessible from here. So I select all these icons and go to color selection and change the color that's not blue to the blue icons. So also each of these I'm going to do for one first and copy it to the other. So I'm copying this text down here and call this one Facebook. We have this. Then I'm going to copy this down also and say www.facebook.com/Peterson123, which might be the Peterson's username. So I'll auto layout this and auto layout with this. So but due to the size of this thing, so one of them just have to be a little, or the font weight will be different. So this I'm going to change this to regular, and this, which is medium, I'm going to change to semi bold so that I have a bolder text. So copy this aside, then copy one of this thing here, and I'll call this one Twitter, and I'll say at Peterson123 as Twitter handle, and also I'll copy another one here, and I'll call this one LinkedIn. So, and I'll leave the handle just like that. What just remains is to replace this Facebook icon with Twitter and LinkedIn icon respectively. I'm going to Command X this and select this and do Command Shift R, Command X, Command Shift R. Also, then the next thing to do is to auto layout these three things together. So selecting everything and do Shift A. So this auto layout is a vertical layout. I'm going to change it to horizontal layout and increase the space between them. Let's say the space between them is 32 pixels. 32 pixels. And this is going to be, the auto layout is going to be, instead of pack, is going to be space between, so that whenever we edit anything between this, so the space still stay enter, the auto layout is staying inside. I'm going to delete this so that we have more space, and each of these things is having 7 pixels. I'm going to make it 16 pixels so that we have them like this, and their auto layout is aligned to the bottom, which is supposed to be center like this. So the space of this to this is 32 pixels. This to them also should be 32 pixels, and this to them also should be 32 pixels. We don't need this. I'm going to remove them. Then this social link, since it's another something, so we have to make it more showing with this one. So I'm going to give them bold, and the space between this and this should be 40 pixels, and this with this should be 24 pixels. And we have our buttons here. So this button is going to be aligned to this side. So on this button, we're going to edit this button to differentiate them more. So I'll copy out a text from here. Let me change the color so that we can see it very clearly. And I'll give the text auto layout. So giving it auto layout, it will add a frame to it. So let me say center, and the text also should be aligned to center just like this. Now the auto layout for the text, the left and right padding is going to be 24 pixels, while the top and bottom margin, let's say 10 pixels. 10 pixels is okay. So the reason is I just need a moderate button, that's why. And also I'm going to give this a stroke so that I will have stroke around the button. and also a corner radius of 100, so that we have a very smooth corner from here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to delete these two, then copy this button here, Command C or Command X, then replace these ones with that, Command Shift R. So what we have here should be primary button and should carry save. So this is 104 pixel by width, but the width is not editable since it's an auto layout. So also when I select this, because I have edited it, so we have 95 pixels by width. All I can do to have my 114 back is to increase the horizontal padding till I have my 114, or let's say 113 is okay, since we can't get 114. So we have this is a save button, and this save button should carry a white FF and should have a fill color, which is going to be our blue color, and also the outline color will be taken off. We'll remove the stroke, and to give it more beauty, we can also give it a shadow, since it's a primary button, to be more attractive. And this, we're going to change the text inside this, or instead we'll just give the outline blue also. So by coming here, you know one is a primary button and the other is secondary button. I'll select these two together and do auto layout, and the space between them is not going to be more than 24 pixels, and align them to the right like this. Now the space between the button and this is going to be 64 pixels. Now what remains here is this the frames for these inputs. So the outline for the frames is black, so it's okay like this, but we don't want a kind of a high contrast black. So I'm going to reduce the opacity or opacity of this color to 20%, so that it's more fading and we can see it. And also the main content inside this text, inside this, are taking black color. I'm going to give them the variance of our color, the variance of the black. But for that, let me copy the black here so that we can see it more clearly. So the variance of the black is what we're going to give them. I'll press I on the keyboard after selecting the text I want to change. I on the keyboard, and I'll select the color. So the color is changed. And when I say variance, I mean we are not giving it that particular color, but a color with a kind of opacity from it. A kind of a color extract from this. So we're going to reduce the opacity to 90%. 90% is okay. Our headings for them, the headings we're having for them, we're going to change that also to, so our black here, and it's going to be 70% opacity. This also, this, and 70% opacity. So I'm going to delete that, and this account setting is also going to take our color. Now we have done with the content. What remains here is the name that we say we're going to give this, which is the name of the user. I'm going to bring the name of the user down here and give it our white. So this should be our white, not normal color. Our white is FF, like that. And this is going to be our white FF also. And I'm increasing the size of this text from 18 to 32. Peter Peterson. So we're going to have the user's email and phone number. Command C, Command V, Command V. Okay, this is because you're having a black something to show. And also I'll Command C uh, the email address, command C, and I'll come here. I'll put a part between this number, and I'll paste the email. So the email is having an underline. I will do Control U to remove the underline. And this also is not going to be 18 pixel. It's going to be 14 pixel, and also it's going to be a regular text. I will, sorry, we'll put it under this something here. So this auto layout, the space between them is 25. I need it to be center 25, and it's going to be 16, not 25. Sorry, 16 pixel, and everything here together with this auto layout, and the space between them is going to be 8 pixels. And this is not will not be completely white, but like 70% of white. So everything here will be centralized like this. Then we have this here. So this is our final design. So let us add a flow to this. I'm going to prototype and add a flow and play the flow so that we'll see the outcome of our design in real life. So in real life, this is how it's going to look like on the desktop. So thank you for your time, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can share my video to your friends. If you have any question concerning design, or you want me to do an interaction for you, please leave a comment or mention my channel name. I will reply you with the design by the grace of God. Thank you very much for your time. Have a nice day.